Elvis Presley's granddaughter, Riley Keough, sharing her plans for Grace.
For nearly half a century, the second floor of Graceland has remained completely sealed. No cameras, no tourists, no exceptions. Even the most devoted Elvis Presley fans, those who've traveled across continents just to glimpse the King's world, have never laid eyes on what's behind that upstairs door. But now, someone finally has something to say. Riley Keough, Elvis's granddaughter and the new owner of Graceland, is breaking decades of secrecy. She speaks of locked rooms frozen in time, secret notes no one ever mailed, and the eerie feeling that her grandfather never really left. For years, fans whispered about what might be hiding up there. Was it just a shrine, or something more? A hidden tunnel beneath the house? A stash of unreleased music? Riley isn't just opening up emotionally. She's lifting the curtain on something millions believed would stay buried forever. And what she reveals next is something even longtime Elvis fans never saw coming. The origins of Graceland, where the silence began. Before it became the most iconic home in music history, Graceland was just a quiet house on the edge of Memphis. Built in 1939 by a printing magnate named Keough, it sat on a peaceful stretch of land surrounded by open fields. The home had charm, but nothing extravagant, just 10 rooms, white columns, and a dignified southern front porch. That changed in 1957, when a restless 22-year-old Elvis Presley, already skyrocketing to global fame, came searching for solitude. Hounded by fame, unable to find peace in public, Elvis didn't buy Graceland for its size. He bought it for what it promised: privacy. But fame has a way of seeping into everything. Over the years, Graceland became more than a home. It became an extension of Elvis himself. One room in particular told that story better than most. The infamous Jungle Room, with green shag carpeting and furniture that looked straight out of a rainforest fever dream. It was wild and surreal. Yet that's where Elvis recorded some of his final tracks. Strange, moody songs that mirrored his state of mind. Just behind the house sat the Meditation Garden, designed in 1964 as a place of quiet reflection. Years later, it would become Elvis's final resting place. It's the one part of Graceland where silence is sacred and where fans lower their voices even decades later. Graceland opened to the public in 1982, and since then, over 20 million people have passed through its gates. It's the second most visited home in the U.S. Only the White House gets more traffic. But even with all the tours and exhibits, one part of the mansion has always remained off-limits: the upstairs, Elvis's true sanctuary. And what Riley discovered there, behind that final locked door, is where the real story begins. The locked door. What Riley found upstairs. For decades, the staircase leading to Graceland's second floor has been more than just a boundary. It's been a line between public history and private grief. No tour guide crosses it. No camera peeks behind it. That entire level has remained untouched since August 16, 1977, the day Elvis Presley died upstairs. And yet Riley Keough has seen it. As Elvis's granddaughter, she spent parts of her childhood wandering Graceland's halls while tourists passed below, unaware that just above them an entire world sat frozen in time. She remembers being told not to touch anything, but still feeling everything. The air, the stillness, the strange comfort of a space left exactly as it was. His bed is still made. His clothes hang in the closet. The clock above the bed hasn't moved since paramedics arrived. On one nightstand, a worn Bible filled with handwritten notes. On the other, bottles of medication, some still full. And beneath the bed, Riley found a shoebox labeled in bold letters, "Do not open." Inside were letters Elvis never sent. One was addressed to Lisa Marie. Another simply read, "To whoever finds this after I'm gone." She also found his private study, a dimly lit room lined with shelves of books on mysticism, numerology, theology. Scribbled notes filled the margins. Some pages read like journaled prayers. Others looked like frantic stream of consciousness. One had a single word repeated again and again. Free? Riley says. Walking through those rooms doesn't feel like visiting a relic. It feels like stepping into a memory that never ended. But what fans didn't expect was how much these rooms would also fuel one of the strangest theories in Elvis history. The tunnel theory. Did Elvis plan his own exit? Not everyone believes Elvis died in that upstairs bathroom. In fact, some fans believe he never died at all. For years, wild theories have swirled around Graceland, none more persistent than the claim that Elvis faked his own death and escaped through a hidden tunnel beneath the mansion. It sounds like a Hollywood thriller, but to some, it's a possibility backed by years of strange clues, eerie silence, and unexplainable sightings. The theory goes like this. Somewhere beneath Graceland, a tunnel stretches from the main house to the rear of the property, or even farther. Its purpose? An escape route, maybe to slip past the paparazzi, maybe to disappear entirely. Supporters of the theory point to Elvis's behavior in the 1970s. He stopped touring regularly. He became increasingly paranoid, hiring people to sweep for bugs, pulling away from public life, and eventually retreating almost entirely to the second floor of Graceland. Some believe it was more than reclusiveness. It was preparation. Then there's the John Burroughs incident. Just 1 year after Elvis's supposed death, a man using that very alias, an old stage name Elvis had used for hotel check-ins, was seen boarding a flight in Memphis. Coincidence? Maybe, but it sparked a tidal wave of sightings in the years that followed. Elvis at a Burger King in Texas. Elvis watching an impersonator show in Nevada. Even Elvis at a DMV in California, quietly paying in cash and telling the clerk, "That's not important," when asked for his name. And then there's the gravestone. Elvis's legal middle name was Aaron, but the marker reads Aaron. Some say it's a deliberate clue, proof that the body buried isn't his. Officially, there's no evidence. No tunnel on public blueprints. No photo ever confirmed. But the Presley family has never definitively denied it either. And Riley? She doesn't waste time on conspiracy theories. But she has made one thing very clear. What's upstairs is real, and far more powerful than any rumor. It's like he never left. Riley's emotional truth. Riley Keough doesn't entertain the idea of tunnels or staged deaths, but she does speak about something even more powerful, the overwhelming feeling that her grandfather's presence still lingers upstairs. It's like he never left, she said. Everything's still there. His clothes, his records, the books by his bed. You can smell the cologne. You can feel him in the walls. The upstairs rooms are not museum pieces. They're time capsules, sealed not out of secrecy, but out of reverence. One room she refuses to describe in detail is the bathroom, where Elvis died. It's never been altered. Not even the towels have been replaced. Riley calls it a space of deep respect, where grief and memory collide. But another room, one that few even knew existed, holds a different kind of significance. Riley calls it the quiet room. Tucked at the end of the upstairs hallway, it was designed by Elvis himself as a meditation space. Cushions on the floor, low lighting, and the soft hum of a sound machine. To Riley, it was the most honest part of who he was, not the performer, not the icon, but a man trying to escape the noise, even in his own home. After Lisa Marie's passing, Riley inherited more than just a house. She inherited the weight of a legacy. And with that came a decision, not to open the doors, but to open the conversation. And what came next would only deepen the mystery. Inheriting a kingdom. The power struggles behind the scenes. When Riley Keough became the new owner of Graceland in 2023, it wasn't just a quiet handoff, it was a legal storm. Following Lisa Marie Presley's unexpected passing, Riley stepped into a role few could ever be prepared for. Not just the steward of a cultural landmark, but the head of a family empire worth hundreds of millions. And almost immediately, there was a challenge. Priscilla Presley, Lisa Marie's mother and Elvis's ex-wife, contested a 2016 amendment to the trust that placed control in Riley's hands. The legal battle was short-lived, settled privately, but it revealed something few outsiders fully understood. The Presley legacy isn't just sentimental, it's strategic. It's a brand, a fortress of intellectual property, licensing deals, real estate, and global image control. And now, at just 34 years old, Riley is the one holding the keys. She's not passive in her role either. She reviews exhibit proposals, greenlights archival projects, and works directly with preservation experts. She's overseeing digital initiatives that scan Elvis's handwritten notes, lyrics, and private letters, ensuring every artifact is stored with forensic precision. But beyond business, Riley has embraced a deeper responsibility: to shape the narrative. Not to sell Elvis, to understand him. She's made it clear. Graceland is not just a museum. It's a living, breathing reflection of the man behind the myth. And that means protecting what's real, including the parts of Elvis's story that were messy, private, and painful. So when rumors resurfaced about secret heirs claiming Presley blood, Riley stayed silent. Just like her mother, just like her grandfather. Because in a world filled with noise, the power isn't always in what's said, it's in what's left unsaid. The secret heirs. Are there others with Presley blood? Whispers have followed the Presley name for decades, rumors that Elvis may have fathered children the public never knew about. Some of these claims come with dramatic flair. Supposed DNA evidence, birth certificates, even photo comparisons showing uncanny resemblances. Most of these stories fade out in tabloid headlines, but some make it to courtrooms. One man attempted to get Elvis's body exhumed for testing. Denied. Another sent in a hair sample, allegedly from a lock of Elvis's hair bought at auction, trying to prove paternity. The estate dismissed it outright. To be recognized as an heir, the bar is impossibly high. Ironclad DNA, a clean chain of custody, and credible documentation. Most claims crumble long before they get close to validation. Some fans believe Elvis had relationships in the 1950s and 60s, before and during his marriage to Priscilla. Certain names reappear in online forums and fan theories. Women who claim to receive hush money or handwritten notes from the king himself. Neither Lisa Marie nor Riley has ever addressed these rumors publicly. And that silence? It speaks volumes. One thing is clear. If a true Presley heir ever comes forward, the decision on what happens next won't come from a courtroom. It'll come from Riley. The lost tapes. Is Elvis still singing upstairs? For decades, whispers have floated through fan circles. What if Elvis left behind songs no one has ever heard? His final recording sessions took place inside Graceland's Jungle Room in 1976. Tracks like Way Down and Moody Blue made it to release, but those close to him say more existed. Unfinished takes, late-night piano ballads, and deeply personal recordings he never intended for the world. Over the years, rumors of lost Elvis tapes have surfaced. Some were clearly fakes, but others were harder to dismiss. One alleged tape, said to feature a song called This Is Goodbye, caused a stir in the 90s until the voice was traced to an impersonator. What fuels the mystery isn't just these bootlegs, it's the silence from those who would know. Unlike other music legends whose unreleased material has been packaged and sold, Elvis's archive remains unusually guarded. Riley Keough has confirmed that many items upstairs, including documents, books, and possibly tapes, have never been digitized or reviewed. A former estate staffer once claimed, anonymously, that a reel-to-reel recorder and several unlabeled tapes were discovered in Elvis's upstairs study. There's no verification, no photos, no official mention. But it aligns with something we already know. Elvis often recorded himself privately, sketching out melodies, speaking lyrics aloud, capturing fleeting inspiration not for fans, but for himself. His producer, Felton Jarvis, once hinted there were tapes he made just for him. Maybe no one will ever hear them. And maybe that's how Elvis wanted it. Because for a man whose voice echoed across the world, the one thing he may have wanted to protect most was what no one ever got to hear. And maybe that's the point. Not every door needs to be opened. Not every secret needs to be told. Sometimes, honoring someone's life means letting part of it remain untouched. But now, at least, we know that behind the locked door was a life still echoing. What do you think Elvis was trying to protect the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more stories like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.